What am I going to find in this? A 1 and a 2 and... Rusty the reseller, he'll sell you the shirt off his back. Well, I have done it. Welcome to the Rusty the Reseller channel, folks. If you're not familiar, I am a full-time reseller. That's how I make my living. I buy stuff and I resell it. In today's video, I'm going to show you a couple of things I grabbed at a local thrift store, and then we're going to get into this item that I just showed you at the very beginning of this video. It's chock full of stuff. I spent $70 on it. Let's see if I can make my money out of it and make a buck or two. Join me. To start off today's video, I'm going to show you a couple of items that I picked up today for relatively inexpensive for what they're worth. Let's go through these cards real fast. It won't take me long. These are all real picture postcards. This one says "A View of Lake Shroon in New York, number 19. So it's a lake in New York, and it is postmarked, what is that? Does it say? Well, I can't quite see the year on it, actually. Oh, well, that's all right. Pretty old. Probably 20s, 30s. Probably the 30s. Billings, Montana, from North Rim Rock. These aerial views, guys, these older aerial views, really sell well. This is probably a reprint photo from maybe the early 1950s, late 1940s. Oh, this is a special one here. Vintage, real picture postcard of a little girl with a rifle in her hands. I don't know if that's a BB gun or if that is someone's rifle. Oops, well, goodness gracious, Rusty. I don't know, but it's just a cool little shot there. Here's one that says it's the home of President Coolidge in Plymouth, Vermont. Look at that old vehicle. That belonged to the Coolidge family? My goodness gracious. That's a cool one right there because it has to do with the president. Seen at Duncan Lake in Ossipee. Is that New Hampshire? So we got some little boats, a little cabin over there. A nice little small lake scene. That's pretty. 1912, I think, roughly. All right, cool. This is a very pretty place, and we are having a fine time. I went bathing this PM, and Charlie is getting ready to go for trout in the morning. Oh, man, I hope he caught one. Casino in Toledo, Ohio. The big white border at the bottom. And a man with a couple of women there just having a leisurely stroll on that fine day. And then we got this one. Nothing in there, but just really cool. The trees, it's a nice field. Clearly something's growing there. And then finally this young buck here on this old, pretty little old horse. Little kiddo just sat up there. Smile at us, please. Not doing it. The thing about these photos, guys, that makes them valuable is they're based on real photographs, and that they have the information on them. Those will be easier to sell. I found lately that mine have sold a lot better, a lot quicker, if they have information about where they're from on them. Time out. If you like postcards, folks, have you ever been over to Julie Norman's Postcard channel? She knows a ton about these things. She's showing the stuff she's buying and selling. She's giving good information. Doggone it, she's even friendly. If you like postcards, do yourself a favor and get over there. Not now. Wait till you finish this video and then watch oodles and oodles more. But definitely before you go to bed tonight, check out Julie Norman's Postcard channel. You will not be disappointed. Moving on, we've got this. At first glance, it just looks like a worthless little piece of aluminum or something like that, like cheap metal. But in fact, if you look at the hinge there, it says 925 Italy. So this is sterling silver. It's an interesting type of a bracelet. I don't see those very often. And then this right here, again, looks fairly cheap, but if you look real close, not on the big one this time, but on the small ring, oh, doggone yous. Flip over there. I don't know if you can see barely. Yeah, you can kind of see some writing there. It says 10 karat yellow gold. Okay, 10 karat solid gold, not gold plated. 50 cents each. Hanging up with a bunch of costume jewelry. Definitely worth my expense on those. All right, we're going to see what we can find here in this little piece of furniture. It is made to hold sewing related paraphernalia and items. It had a price tag of $95 on it, and I went up and offered them $70, and they took it. It is chock full of stuff. Come with me. Let's see what I might pull out of here and sell. All right, here it is. Part of the reason I offered less than $95 is you can see there is some water damage. Somebody put something up here, and so old Rusty's either going to have to fix that, or when I resell it, I'm going to have to keep that in mind. If it had just been this item itself, I wouldn't have bought it, because I am not buying big items to sell, hardly at all this year, okay? This is something I will put in the local antique store that I sell at, and I'll also put on Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to try to sell it locally. I do not want to ship it. But let me show you folks exactly why I bought it. So this is a cool little thing. You can pull it out like this, boop, and you can pull this over here out like this. Pop, and then this thing opens up here, and then this over here opens up like that. It is chock full, folks, of sewing items. Now, sewing items may not be your cup of tea. It's not really something I'm interested in. But guys and gals, there are a variety of things in vintage sewing materials that that people still pay for. Not to mention, all of this stuff is functional. It's usable. People can use it. I will do my research on all of these spools of thread and figure out what stuff might bring value or what might not. I could sell some of these individually if I think it's worth it, but in most cases, and my guess is that a lot of these things I'm going to put in small lots, or maybe I'll bundle all of the spool and thread and stuff like that up together and sell it all in one lot. But here's the deal. As I just did a cursory glance, and I just sort of poked my little fingers in here and took a look around, I saw a variety of things, and maybe you have seen some of them too. But let me just show you why I bought this. First off, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff, and this is what I'm doing this year. I'm buying things like one purchase that comes with a lot of different things that I can sell. So lots of different spools of thread, various things like that. But right here we have a thimble. And folks, you may not realize or know, but thimbles, particularly vintage ones or odd, strange ones, can sell for quite a bit of money. They've got there's a collector base out there. This particular one is silver tone with some sort of almost looks like a brass cap up here to add weight to it and extra protection. And it says England 10. 10 would be an indication of the size of it. They have various sizes for sizes of fingers. And this is England number 10. This might be, I don't know, I need to look it up, but somewhere between $4, $6, maybe even $8 for that right there, if I sold it individually, okay? Not too terrible, $8. So, you know, pull these out. What do I got in here? So there's some extra pieces of fabric, some strap stuff, nothing all that exciting. But right here we have a little pair of scissors. And scissors like this, you can see it's bent. This is help for sewing. People use these types of scissors at times when there's a variety of uses. They use them in the medical profession, types like this. They use them for sewing. They use them for, like, say, tying flies and things like that. There's all kinds of uses for these. This particular pair says made in Germany, and so it's a small little pair. I know that there are others too because I saw others, so I'm going to set this aside as well. Scissors can sell well individually or in lots, just depending. And what you'll see is that we've got various pens, also a variety of needles, and even more pens. This is stuff you just go out and you can buy this stuff at Walmart and things. No one's going to care about this stuff, but if I put it in with a lot of other things, they might. Before we get down to the bottom here, let's move over to the side, this side. As I'm looking down here, and this is what caught my eye when I first looked into here was this little box. Another spool of thread. I'll get that out of the way. We got a pin cushion here, which is handmade. Somebody knitted this sucker together and put all these different needles, sizes of needles and things like that in there. That's something I can probably sell. Let me move it over out of the way. And then you can see we have a variety of other needles. Sometimes people buy these packages that have been unused because they're still in the packages. These are nickel-plated, tempered steel. And this right here, self-thread, and we got some. And it looks like, yeah, several still in there, made in England. Okay, so now we got a pair of scissors here, stainless china, cheap scissors, not really interested in those. Right here, a variety of more needles. I mean, tons of needles and little push pins in here. Here we have a little measuring tool. Trom, sewing and knitting gauge. Okay, so this thing can slide back and forth. This thing probably has some resale value in and of itself. It has Made in USA, it has a patent number, and the brand. So I'll be able to sell that. Put that over there. Come back over here, and you can see we have at least 2 more pairs of scissors. It's another little thing for, now I get embroidering and not embroidering, but knitting and crocheting and different things confused. I'm not exactly sure what the tools are different for those. But here we have another pair of these small scissors, a little rust on them. It says made in Germany again, so these are similar to these. I'll stick them over here. Now we got 2 of 2 different sizes. And this right here definitely caught my attention. I was excited when I saw this. These are sewing scissors for sewing. They are in the shape of a bird, like a stork or a crane. And there are very old ones out there. This is like a gold and silver tone combined. But if I open it up and look inside, you can see that the name of the manufacturer is Marx. Marx, Germany, and this is 107. I'm familiar with these types of scissors. They will sell oftentimes in the $20 to $30 range. Okay, so this particular pair of scissors, I expect I could probably, on the low end, get $20 for, $25, maybe even up to $30 or more, depending. I need to look up that brand. But I'm real excited about that. So what we have so far, 3 pairs of scissors I know I can sell, a nice thimble, this little gauge. Now let's dig down in here. We've got a bunch more thread, spools of thread, okay? Up on the top here, by the way, it's just more spools, more thread, nothing super exciting in there. Right here, we've got some buttons, some more needles, and all kinds of different little objects and things that you use for some buckles and latches and straps, and probably, I don't see any like real small buttons necessarily, but in here, same thing. A variety of little pieces, objects, things that you use to repair and sew things together. We got another little pin cushion here with a variety of needles and push pins and things in that. It's made to look like a hat. It says pins on it. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way because I'm going to start wrapping myself up with thread here. Best Western, a sewing kit from a Best Western. More needles. I mean, just look at, just so many needles. Here's another, it looks like a little crocheted thing holding tons of needles and pins. Man, I'm going to be, I'm literally on pins and needles right now, looking through this. That was a terrible dad type joke. That was a really bad joke, Rusty. It's really bad. Okay, another little flowery little crochet thing. I could put these probably together and sell them with or without the needles, because there are people who buy that stuff. Now this is exciting. Look at this. It's heavy enough. There must be something in it. Oh, yes. All right. Now we're talking. Ginger. So we got a nice pair of scissors here. And they are the regular cutting, like regular ones for fabric. Oh man, they're beautiful. They're great condition. Great, and they're very sharp. It says Ginger right there on it. Chrome, Brazil. And it's in the original box, folks. That's exciting. So the box, you can see, is kind of old and stuff. Those scissors are not new, but they are in pristine condition. This is probably, I'm going to guess, a $40 to $60 pair of scissors, because it's a vintage, but it's in great condition, and it comes with the original box. So I'm going to throw this up here. Excellent. All right. Let's see if there's anything else down here. Needles. What is this? Some sort of tool that I'm not familiar with. Probably more needles and bobby pins is my guess. Man, more and more. Look at all of these. I mean, you guys help me, folks. Is this for crocheting, or is this for... is that like a little shoe in there? A little moccasin? What is that? Needles, all this different thread. What are these? We got some little buttons here. What do we got? Equipments. Militaires equipments. Interesting. Are those military buttons of some kind from a different country? Here's a nice older... you know, measuring tape thing here for sewing things. What does it say? Shanghai. Interesting. Made in Shanghai. Now that's something I might try to sell right there. And you know, this is what I was curious about. What is this? What? Oh, I know what it is. It's for sewing. You put your finger through it. You put your finger through it, and it's okay. So it's made of leather. Interesting. And it's kind of like well, that's kind of neat. Not familiar with that, folks. Not familiar with it. I don't sew. I don't crochet. I don't knit. Not saying I'll never learn how, but I'm not doing it right now. Okay, so some more stuff in there. Old Rusty has got some research he needs to do. We have the Badcock Deluxe Sewing Kit here. We got more sewing material. So I'm going to go through and take out all of these things and find out what they're called. I'm pretty sure this is for like crocheting or knitting. We have stuff in here for straight up sewing. We have stuff for, looks like crocheting or knitting. We've got a variety of spools of thread. But I'm going to tell you right now, I paid $70 for this entire thing, okay? I'm on the low end, I'm going to say $40 here. I'm going to say $20 here. That's $60. I'm going to say $10 for this pair. 70 bucks. I have no idea how much this is. I'm going to say $75. I'll say $5 on this. $80. I think that there's, and then let's just say $5 on this. $85 here of what I've pulled out so far. $85, and I paid $70 for this whole thing. So I'll be able to sell. I'll be past my investment with those. Let's put it that way. All the rest of the sewing stuff in here, I could probably make 3 or 4 different lots out of that. All the pin cushions and needles maybe together. All the spools of thread together, that's 2. All the crocheting stuff together, that's 3. Now, what I'm a little bit confused about was I thought I had seen another... I need to kind of start dumping this stuff back in, because I thought that I had seen a second thimble in here somewhere, and that got me excited. And maybe I'm wrong. Where did I see that that old thing at? Was it in here? Did I just simply overlook it? Well, let me see if I can find that. Upon further inspection, I found actually 2. One's plastic, probably not worth hardly anything. But then I found this one right here, and this is an interesting one because it's made of, I guess, brass, perhaps. I'm not exactly sure. You can see here it's got a little bit of a design on it. It's kind of a, not exactly a chrome color, but it's kind of cool. And I think it has a number in there, but I'm not sure. Maybe an 8. Maybe it's a size 8, perhaps. I'm looking around to see if I can see any manufacturer's marks. But that's another cool one. I can throw that in over here with this one and sell these either individually or together as a pair. So I'm into my profits here. I can sell all this stuff, and then, not to mention this, which I might put up for just, $70 what I paid for the whole thing, and see if I can get that out of it. If I can, then all the contents in this is what would have been my profit. Interesting day. Folks, keep in mind thimbles, scissors, and there are other vintage sewing items that can sell for decent money. You know why I like this stuff and why I'm turning you on to it is because when you walk in thrift stores and places, the area of fabrics, sewing materials, stuff like that is an area that most people, even resellers, 90% or more of them, completely pass by because it doesn't interest them. It's not sexy, and they don't know much about it. If you familiarize yourself with the things that are valuable in categories that most people overlook, then you're going to be ahead of the game because you're not going to have as much competition. So happy hunting out there, guys. I'll let you know how I do on this. Thanks for joining us today, folks. Happy hunting. Rusty, 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 how to? Rusty, 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 how to? Rusty.